Why would we not try Venice? What are we talking about? Why are you a Venice hater? You hater, you. Yeah, what's wrong with Venice? I've not tried them. What do they even have? Oh my gosh, that's so good. That's so good. La Venice? It's like Venice, but with an F. What kind of garbage reforms are these? Parliament based support. It's just, oh god, it's bad. They have anything good? One Diplo rep, wow. Yeah, pretty good, pretty good. What was this? I'm just looking through. Maybe I'll go, maybe I'll try. I mean, there's lots of places in Italy I haven't tried, honestly. I think I played, like, Milan and Verona, and that's kind of it. Do you know any fun? Who's your guys' favorite nation in Italy? I mean, it's probably Milan, right? They're the GOAT, but yeah, Milan's the GOAT. But we can't play Milan again, it's illegal. It's like all the same. Meh. Okay, these guys suck. I played a campaign off stream of like Inca, man. It was so bad. It's so bad. Good God. I accidentally got the complacency disaster and decided to just play through it, and it was insane. It's so off. I didn't mean to click into these guys. I think that, well, I think that it has a lot to do with that integration cabinet thing, too. But I think they start with like maybe they start with the highest tax base too. I think they start in a pretty good position. You get a cabinet action that lets you integrate faster for 30 years. I think that's kind of a big deal for snowballing. You get like it's like 50% faster to integrate with them than any other nation. I mean, I think they slightly nerfed Milan's start, but it's not like a big deal. Doesn't really matter. Because the way that, I mean, I think it's like that 30-year thing is like the most important part. But I love this video, this Q&A video of Johan getting raging about the achievement thing. You could just cheat any way you want. Gold. Oh, it's gold. Oh, the salt is so real. Yeah, so it's like it's really, really strong. But I don't know, maybe that's not it. I also think it's like they're in a relatively good position because they own a bunch of land that's in the HRE, and so they're able to, like I think the more land you have, like, the idea is, like, the more land that you own in the HRE is the less land that you have to conquer that's in the HRE. So, like, I guess, like, I don't know, for example, playing the Pope is, like, a little bit scuffed. Playing the Pope sucks, actually, because you're not in the HRE. I think it's, like, that's tough. But, like, for Milan, it's, like, pretty good, I think. Because all this land is HRE land. Well, I think the cutoff's, like, somewhere down here. It stops being HRE land or whatever. I don't remember, but I also think, like, maybe it's the control's really good in the area. I don't know what it is. They do start with, like, a decent tax base, I guess. Venice actually starts with a higher tax base. I didn't notice double. Huh. When in my one run where I played the Pope, there was nothing like that. But that doesn't mean that there isn't, just based off of, like, one run that I did. But I wanted to try the Italian Wars because I haven't, like, got the chance to do that on this patch because I know they reworked it. But I was gonna play someone I haven't played to make it, like, interesting. I'm like, who's the nation? Like, Venice looks like they're pretty strong, and I haven't played them. I never played Naples, but they just look too easy. Like, I don't know. I can't imagine they would be that interesting. Like, are there any significant challenges to playing Naples? I mean, I don't know. Padua, where are they? Up here. They're a subject nation. That's no fun. I don't want to play as a subject nation. What do they even have? Like, ever of all time? Or, like, this patch? I mean, that's kinda cool, but, eh. I mean, I think there's something satisfying about, you know, my world conquest. Probably, like I think it's, like, the most painful, but most fun. I don't know how to explain it. It's, like, most satisfying run because it was, like, a really tough thing to do and really, I don't know, felt rewarding and felt fun to do. So I'd say the Timur's World Conquest was probably my favorite run, but I've had I think I really liked my Province War score stacking run too. It was really fun. I think England to Realm was pretty fun too. When did you hit the wall of tedium? Where, in what campaign or in what context? I think performance-wise, it was really hard for the World Conquest at the end, but I never felt like like, for me, it was like I never felt very confident that I could do the World Conquest. I mean, no one ever had done it before. So I think it was, like, fun in the sense that I didn't know that I would be able to do it, and it was always like, you just keep going and hopefully you can. But then, yeah, the performance was really, really tough at the end. I think the game, I mean, it was an earlier version of the game. The game's not, like, designed for world conquest, you know? So, it's like, I can be upset about performance being bad for world conquest, but at the same time, like, who cares? Why does everyone refuse to play with the Chicago? Because, I don't like, I played it a long time ago, and it didn't really work. It, like, feels really bad to, like okay, so you start your nation, you start in 1337, and what, you play tall for, like, 60 years? and then you just, like, lose all your land, like, that doesn't really feel good, does it? Like, that's what my experience was one time I played it. Like, do I wanna play tall for 60 what, 63 years and then lose all my land? And then play some weird mini game, like, that didn't even really work properly for me at the time? Again, I don't know if it works now, that was a long time ago when I tried it, but that was my experience when I did try it. I mean, is that something that's, like, fun? I mean, given I haven't tried in a long time, it just doesn't feel like, it just feels awkward, right? Because 'Cause you're just like, you don't what are you supposed to do as this nation for the first 60 years? Like, are you gonna, like, invade Korea? Like, what are you trying to do? You're just, like, really strong, and you don't really, like it's kind of just confusing to know, like, what you should be doing. You, like, are strong, you make a lot of money, and you don't really have a feasible target. Like, are you gonna go after a Great Yuan? Like, no. I guess you could, because 'cause they're pretty weak, but they have a lot of assholes and stuff. But it's just kinda weird because I don't even know how that would really pan out if you did go for them anyways. I don't know either, it's been a long time since I played it, but I remember it being really frustrating because it was like it's weird anyways, right? It's really weird the way that it's done, and it's just like, you it's confusing in the sense of, like, because I remember the time that it didn't work properly, and that was a big reason I didn't wanna do it, but it does feel weird to play tall for 6 years and then lose all that land, for sure. But I haven't tried it in a long time, so, like, I'll have to try it sometime, and maybe it's, like, playable, I don't know. Has anyone played it? Yeah, so you can build up Kyoto a bunch. I just remember the situation, like, I couldn't go to war with the people. It was weird. But it doesn't really, like I don't know, it's just a weird gameplay loop because the idea that you like, what are you supposed to do? Like, if you're playing optimal, like, what are you supposed to do? Are you supposed to, like, colonize somewhere? And, like, are you supposed to invade like, do am I just invading China and taking over China? You know, and then if you do that, like, then, like, what happens in 1400? You just, like, say, like, forget like, it's probably optimal just, like, forget about Japan and go for China. Be like the optimal way to play, right? Just abandon Japan because it's you don't wanna play the Shogunate mini game and then, you know, go, move to China. Would probably be, like, the optimal way to play it. They can get China too? That sounds like cancer, I'm not gonna lie. That's why no one plays it, dude, holy hell. Yeah, anything you do in the first 70 years, just, like, it doesn't matter. That feels terrible, does it not? That sounds awful. And, part of me wants to try it, but, like, what are you guys vibing with right now? What should we play? I mean, I could play Japan. I mean, I'd be down to try it. I think I'll be, disappointed, but, like, you know, I could certainly try. Uh, I mean, I'm down to play Venice too. I did want to try them. What feels worse to play, Japan or Andes? I mean, again, I haven't played Japan recently. I don't even think the Andes feel bad. Well, they do. They feel bad in their own way, but what feels bad is I let the complacency disaster fire just to see. It was so bad. It took me 55 years to get out of the disaster, and it's like unreason. It's so unreasonable. Have you guys seen the actual complacency disaster and how unplayable it is? Especially as that nation. Oh my god! I'll just show you guys real quick because it's like hilariously bad. I ended up just like giving all my land out to subjects eventually because I didn't like know what to do. I'm down to play Venice. I just wanted to show you guys. I thought Venice would be fun because they're kind of like a major in Italy that I haven't played. That sounded interesting. I feel like yeah, again, Naples doesn't really sound too interesting. I mean, Naples is. I guess Naples would be its own challenge because you can't really fight the HRE as well. But I want to show you guys like how freaking unplayable this is. We'll just go back like a couple of years before. Navarra. I haven't played Navarra in a while. I tried them a long time ago. But I haven't played Japan in a while, so yeah, I wouldn't know. They could be playable. I have not. So like, okay, I'm gonna tell you the troll. This is so troll. Well, I've been this disaster for 50 years, right? Look at these options here. For one, getting to 10% complacency takes forever. But that's beyond the point. Look at this. You have to have greater or equal to 50% average control in the region of your capital. Like, bro, how in the hell am I ever getting 50% control in the Indies? There ain't no way. Okay. The other option is that I need to accept or tolerate like an insane amount of culture. So it's saying that out of all my people, I have to have at least what is that like 80% tolerated or accepted, maybe 70 to 80% accepted. It's like, dude, I'm currently sitting at 4.37 over my culture capacity. I'm not even there. I'm not even like halfway there. I'm like, how is this playable? How is this freaking playable? Like I'm already like trying to accept all these bullshit cultures to do this, and it's like, dude, I'm so far from my culture capacity already. Like, how is this playable? What are we talking about? Like, this is just like horrible, horrible. I want to try it out just to see what it'd be like the disaster because I never actually played it. So you should just like, avoid it intentionally. I'm like, how would it feel to actually play this disaster? It doesn't feel very good. Well, the one thing I did want to see, like, okay, how much dev could you stack? Because like, while you're in the peak of the disaster, you're getting like max prosperity everywhere. So I was like, okay, how does it feel that? And like, sure, I have 42 dev or almost 43 dev there. It's like not the worst, but it's also 1588. It's not like that good. Also, why do I see the whole map whenever I play the natives now? They're just like, oh, you can see the whole map if you want. At some point, they just like, bam, you see everything. I'm like, okay, cool. Like, that's funny that the capital's almost as developed as Constantinople. Who does? Yeah, but it's just like really jarring because it goes from like you don't see anything, like you literally see nothing to you see all of Europe like this in one go, and then, like it's like the tick of 1 month, you know? Like I don't see any of this. I see all of this. It's like so weird, and like this too. It's like I got to reveal this and all of this in the 1 month tick. It's like okay, I don't know. I think it's like somewhere near like 1560 that it happens. I remember exactly when, but something like that. But also, it's pretty troll the way this like plays out. The colonies just attack you, and you could just, like, annex them all for free. Because, like, France never, like, actually comes over to the New World. And it's funny that you don't even need any of the institutions to win. Like, I don't have a single institution, and I'll win against the colonies easily. It's like, sure. It's kind of annoying because I'm trying to, like, I can't get more land because I have the complacency decline. Anyways, enough yapping about that. The complacency decline is not very playable. That's moral of the story. 55 years to get out of the disaster, and I'm like unbelievably above my culture capacity. And it'll cost me like $1 billion stab to fix that. So yeah, just completely unplayable. Just in case you guys are like wondering, like, should I like let this complacency disaster trigger? No, you don't. Not in this game. Yeah, it's nearly impossible. I mean, there is something that I did learn. I don't know if it's like something I want to abuse necessarily in that campaign, but it's like if you're being min-maxed, you should never pay for cost of court, but it's like one of those things that like, do you want to do that? Or like it kind of just feels bad, right? Like, yes, it's optimal to never pay for cost of court. Yeah, I'd say so. Yeah, I'd agree with that. It's optimal to pay for 0 sliders, yeah. You don't even need to pay for cost of court as a monarchy. It doesn't really do anything. Like I played as a Inca, and it's like it's literally like basically nothing happened. Like the disaster does nothing. It occasionally gives you a lot of prestige, actually, which is kind of nice. Because like you keep winning the disaster at some point, and they'll give you 20 prestige. What do you mean what do you mean by view the gov reform as paying for dev growth? Oh, no, you mean by that? Yeah, so if you do it, you'll notice that the disaster is like doesn't do anything. It's like an empty threat. Like it would like it literally is like the most fake thing ever. If anything, it's free prestige. Does theocracy give you dev growth? Is that what you're saying? Or are you saying that a monarchy gives you dev growth? Yeah, but like, I don't know. Does dev growth matter really? It's like, no. I mean, I guess it's if you want to play tall and it gives you a sense of happiness, then yeah, sure. But does it like is dev growth really even good? Like, I don't think it really is. It's so slow, man. Like, you can have insane dev growth, doesn't matter. It's like, dev just doesn't really grow that fast. Like, you can have like I was testing it during that like with my Inca run. It's like even if you had max prosperity at all times and it gives you 0.4, like 0.4 dev growth, it's like it's not that good. It just takes like so long to dev. That's cool. Like right on, that's cool. Yeah. Yeah, I just feel like deving is yeah, I guess. I think they should delete I think they should get rid of this. It's so stupid. Like how bullshit that is. I'm like, I need to leave feedback on the creator Discord. Like, dude, why is this the thing? It's so stupid. Such a bad idea. Just be like, hey, you want free stability for no reason? No. Why? Or if you have like, any tribal people, you can just like ask the tribes for extra levies, and then you can bribe them for like 3 ducats. But yeah, I agree. Deving doesn't feel good because you don't do it yourself. I think it's the same thing with mission trees, though. I'm like, dude, it's all ruined, you know? I'm just saying having like a tiny bit of levies or a tiny bit of tribe, like, so that you can use because you can use the 15% extra levies, and then like, not that it matters a lot, but I was just when I was playing Inca, like you can use it, and then you can pay like less than a ducat to bribe them. So it's like, you know, effectively free. I think all that stuff is bad though. Like it's just like overpowered. Like I don't like any of the stuff they added to this. I guess I like it in the sense it gives you stability. I guess that's nice, but it's too free. I think it should be like a lot more punishing. Like, and also, why is it called appeal to the commoners? Why when you are appealing to the commoners would they suddenly hate you? And why would that also suddenly give you stability? I can't imagine it, like at all in any sort of roleplay sense why that would make any sense. If you appeal to somebody, do they generally like think like is that generally like makes them upset if you appeal to somebody? No, I don't really get it. The satisfaction is when they realize that you lied. Okay, all right, I can get behind it. What I can't get behind is the fact, like, they should be like, I think it should be like 10. It should be like a 10-year debuff, and it should be like a 10-year cooldown of like the commoners have negative 20 estate equilibrium for like 10 years or something like that. Like it should be like actual punishing. Because sure, it like makes sense to get stability in a pinch, but it shouldn't be something that you just like you should actively click this every time. I feel like, especially if you, because like who cares if your satisfaction goes down for a few months, you know? It's just like, I think actively, if you're min max, you should click this button on cooldown. It's like, yeah, that's kind of bad. It doesn't feel like something that should be like in the game. Here, you should if you're optimal, you'll click this stability button every 2 years. Is it 2 years? That's 5 years. Okay. Sorry, every 5 years, if you're min max, you'll click the button for free stability. They should do something that has more of a negative consequence for sure, is what I think. Yeah, and maybe they will balance it out. Hey, can I tell you how to better manage antagonism? Yeah. Like, the best way to manage antagonism really is play like, okay, have you seen my there's a video I made a while ago, but basically it's like the idea would be that you play, let's say I was playing Austria and I use no subjects, but you max diplo spending and you try to improve relations with as many people as you can all the time. It's like how I think that is the best way to do it. So it's like you don't use subjects, but you constantly improve relations with everybody because you can store negative antagonism. So if you improve relations with like a bunch of people, it's like you store negative antagonism against effectively. But that also depends on like if you want to do that, if you like microing that much, et cetera, et cetera. But I think that's like optimally what you would want to do. Which I know is probably not what like ideal, but I think that's like the best way to do it. But yes, stacking diplo rep is good too. You know, make sure that you have the church debuff, or if you can. I guess it's kind of harder now in this patch, but you know, things like that. Anyways, let's just mess around with Venice a little bit, all right? No stress. Yeah. So what you should do is, I think Austria is a really good pick. So, like, you can easily form Germany by like 1500 as like Austria, for example, right? You just need to like improve relations a bunch, just like constantly be improving relations to the extent that you're like literally paying for diplo spending just to improve relations if you can afford it, because you want to be like improving with as many people as you can at a time. But also like going diplo focus is really big because you can get I don't see yet, but you the diplo focus has improved relations modifier, which means that you can get more negative antagonism, if that makes sense, or you can reduce antagonism more. So like improved relations modifier is super important. Because the more improved relations modifier you have, the more you can reduce antagonism with the nation. But I usually don't even do that because I'm lazy. But is there a way to make it pronar independent? I think you can cancel subject, right? honestly think that you guys probably don't share my opinion, but I'm like, I think making subjects at all is stupid, especially as Byzantium. If you're playing Byzantium, you have like 92 cabinet actions. Like, why would you ever want a subject? You have so many cabinet actions. It just doesn't make sense that you would ever want to use a subject as Byzantium. I think that pronars are like extremely frustrating to play with. Half the time you just get like bad RNG and yeah, I don't know. I tried it like a little bit and I was like, I'm never using these again. This is terrible. They just like randomly die when they're like 3/4 of the way to integrating, and you're like, well, that was a waste of my time. I disagree. I play every campaign without making subjects. Just sit on the land unintegrated. It doesn't really matter. You'll integrate it when you can. Oh god. Not like this. Wait, can they still make it here? No. Can we like group up and help? I never play this nation. Oh, they're camping, bro. They're camping. What are they doing? We gotta get over there and group. You think Milan will reinforce? Or he'll just let me die? I have no idea. I'm like, what are the chances? Do you think Milan helps or just watches me die? I say not make it in time. Damn. That's crazy. I don't get it. Like in this game, like dude, reinforcing is impossible. Like, are you supposed to be able to reinforce? Because it looked like Milan tried to. Like, Milan, this is the play. You come with us, and we kill them. Okay, it's not even that hard. Freaking Milan. We just rely on the AI to be smart. To win a war, it's the most just terrible thing. Yeah, I think that I mean, in my experience, like I think I'm to the point where culture conversion is a waste of time. And I don't bother with it anymore. And then it just becomes like a cheese the mechanic type of situation for me. I think that's like always the way. Yeah. I mean, there's lots of ways to choose culture acceptance. The other way is like just becoming the cultures. But yeah, it's like it's a really bad system if you ask me. I wish Johan would care. I like was tempted the other day to like at Johan and be like, what's like the like just like help me understand what the concept is or like the thought process is. Like, what do you want? Like, if I like, I thought about asking Johan that in like the Discord. Like the idea of just like, what is the idea that you had in mind with this mechanic? Like, are you supposed to culture convert? Are you supposed to just not have the land ever be fully integrated? Like, what's that? Like, that's a genuine question I have. Like, what's the design philosophy of the mechanic? Like, if you have a culture that's like outside your culture group and it's way too expensive to ever, it's like 3 or 4. So like, what do the developers want you to do to like solve that problem? That's always like my question. Like, even if it's their vision of like, just like, what is their vision of how that works? Like, do they want, but difficult and like sure. So you think it's just like make it super difficult to get cores? Just like not unreasonable, right? Like, I guess like the idea of it, I guess, isn't unreasonable. So your idea would, but okay, the issue I have with it is like, if you play with like, it's so much of a better experience if you play like Germany, or I feel like Germany and Italy are like by far the best experience to play the game on, because then you don't have to deal with that mechanic at all. And how is that like reasonable? Where it's like, if you simply play within certain regions, you don't have to deal with this issue. Like, you're Germany, right? Like, okay, we'll just conquer all of Germany and accept it for free. Or you're into Italy, like the same thing, right? Or even to some extent, like if you're Muscovy, it's like you can just take the land that you want, and like, do they just want you to only play within your culture group? That's weird, right? And it's like, you're screwed. This area is screwed. Like, yeah, it's fine in Iberia too. You can accept because it's like Iberian partially, right? Even here is partially Iberian, but like, I feel like France is kind of screwed, because if they want to expand anywhere, it's cooked for them. Like, I think Britain's kind of screwed, yeah, it's like Britain can't really accept, like, you can't really ever accept a culture if it's in multi groups like this. It's really bad. So you think that their vision is that people only conquer it within their culture groups? But why? See, it's like the point would be like, see, then like, why would you do that? Yeah, I guess. Why culture convert? There's always a better way, right? Like, culture converting, I think, is just a waste of time, and it's like, it's really bad because it's only good in places you have high control. But it's like, instead of doing that, you should just like either cheese it or like conquer, play within your own region. But yeah, I think the place where this feels the worst is playing as the Ottomans or Byzantium, because of the way that it's Roman and Turkic. Sorry, words are hard. Where it's like awkward, right? Or even up here, it's like everywhere you want to go as the Ottomans is like a different culture group, and that feels pretty bad. But it's just a weird gameplay loop, if you ask me. It's just like odd the way that they set it up. Yeah, it's really, really bad if you want, and you can only do that once, right? You can only increase. Essentially, I feel like with culture conversion, you can only do it in one location at a time, because you need the increased control canon action to go alongside it. Where it's like, yes, you can do that, but it's to me, it's also like kind of like isn't it borderline like impossible to culture convert without like really good humanist and like max cultural influence and stuff like that? It's like, if you want to do this, you have to play humanist. It's not like a choice. It's like, which is like, I don't know if that's a good thing. It's like, it's very weird. And I like, my issue with Paradox is that they don't really think of it like a big issue, and I'm like, that's your problem, Paradox, is that you don't understand the priority of what things need to be fixed in what order. Like, it's not like you're adding bad features most of the patches, like, you know? It's not even really possible. Like, I'm sorry to tell you, but Seedon, but I don't really think you can convert that much at once. You cannot convert 1.2 a month. Ever. Like, I could be Rome with max control everywhere, and I would still not be able to do 1.2K a month, so I don't know what you think is going on, but there's no way. Like, I've had 100 control every location, and I can't culture convert that fast. Yes, see, that's what I don't like. So if you're playing as a culture group that, like, for example, I feel like if you're playing optimally and you're playing Bohemia, you should probably switch to a German culture. Oh, I totally agree. Wholeheartedly agree. I think that if they took away the culture requirement and then, I don't know, did something else with it, the game, like, people would love the game a lot more. But my issue with it is, yeah, it's like you're so incentivized to just stay within your culture group. I think there shouldn't be an integrated. There should be a conquered and a court, or they should make it like a time, like you wait X amount of years and it like over time happens. I don't know. Yeah, the whole culture thing is just the whole, like, maybe, but it's like it doesn't last that long anyways. But yeah, don't you guys feel like the coring is mandatory, but you know what I thought of doing? This is a stupid way to fix it. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna make a mod that gives both the player and the AI plus 100 culture slots. Like the laziest possible mod ever. It's just like plus 100 culture capacity to everyone. And I'm like, that's probably a dumb thing like a dumb way to just fix it. But I'm like, it would actually help the AI too. You know, because they could have like infinite culture slots, and so could you. Yeah, correct. It's like you have to have cores. Like, let me give you an example real quick while we're on the topic, because this is like an issue in my game that I was just playing. Right. I mean, that's like the mod I made a while ago that was like self-integration. I was playing with it. But like, okay, if you look at my campaign over here in over like, it's like, what is the what could I possibly do here? Like, it feels really bad, I think. Like, obviously this is the extreme. But yeah, it would help the AI a lot, too. But I noticed the AI actually, like, when I was like tagging into people, and like almost every single AI goes over their culture capacity, you know. But like, okay, look at this. So it's like, okay, the culture here is like, if I wanted to accept it, right, it's like impossible. Like, look at that at something like it's like ATV or something like that. I don't even know what it was. I don't know. There's like a billion cultures, but like, point being is like, okay, look at this. It's like, okay, 2 point, that would I'm already like ridiculous over my culture capacity, but that's a different reason. But I can't even accept one of these cultures. Like, here's 7% of my people. There's another 2. It's like, dude, how is this possible? What am I gonna do? Also, guess what? Region I'm in. The freaking zero control mountain region. It's like, dude, how am I ever gonna culture convert something like this? Like, I think this is even court already, but like this, for example. It's like, okay, what am I supposed to do? Like, you know, it's not like reasonable. Like, this is integrated already, right? This is zero control integrated land. Like, this happens. What am I gonna do? Like, it sucks that I can't even just assimilate now, right? It does nothing. In my opinion, this should be the fact that you get -10 for integrated is really stupid to me. I don't think you should get negative. I feel like there should be always at least a little bit of a passive conversion, because I feel like that would be like somewhat realistic, right? I think there should always be some sort of small passive. Like, I think if they just if they took away this -10 and it just had a +2 or something, and then they took away this like control thing, I think that would be like the way. Like, get rid of this and get rid of this, and then like you have a passive system that like is working. I just don't know what to do in this scenario. Like, well, I do. What you do in this scenario is you release a subject, and then you like curry favors until and then you like release them and then kill them later. You know, that thing. But it's just like, what is the game? Like, what does Paradox want you to do here? Like, if you're a dev, it's like, what is the design philosophy of how I like what does the devs envision that I would do? Is it like you just accept that you can't full core things? Is it B, you're gonna use 2 cabinet actions and slowly do it, or like I just don't understand like the logic of what I should be doing, or what the devs think I should be doing. Like in this scenario where it's like, okay, you have like what? I have 5 cultures that I want to accept, and they're all going to cost me like 2.5. So that's impossible. There's no way I could ever accept it. Well, I mean, there is a way. It's called a mandate of heaven, but that's a different argument. So yeah, so it's like, what's the logic? I was like tempted to at Johan in the Discord and be like, hey, this is my campaign. Like, what's the logic here? No, just like, what's the thought process here? Sure, like, and yeah, like once they nerf the OPM, because I feel like subjects are like useless for culture conversion now. Like, what do you guys think of that statement? Like, subjects used to be a way to solve this problem, but now they're useless. This is the current beta. This is just current beta. I don't really want the vassal meta back, personally, but yeah, but can they? Because there's a 10-year cooldown. Even if you are a max humanist and maybe they can do it, it's still a 10-year cooldown. So what are you gonna do then? It's not like viable. It's a 10-year global cooldown. I don't even use them. I think they're just like not worth it. That's my take. I think subjects are actually just useless. Just wait 200 years and unify culture. Dude, that button is fake. Okay, that button is fake. It's a trap. I'm telling you, it's a trap. I think you think it's possible they didn't want players playing in the Americas at all? I just, like, don't so my problem is, like, I clearly see this as an issue. Like, a hot like, to me, it's like a if you solve this issue, it's really good for the game. Like, it really pushes the game into a better spot if you fix this issue for both the player and the AI. And it's not even hard to fix the issue. My issue though is that yeah, I know, I'm just giving an example, but the issue I have is like the priority. It's just the priority. It's like this isn't an issue that's like I heard Johan say like 1.5, 1.6. I'm like, listen, Johan, don't do that. Don't wait for 1.5, 1.6. Like if you like your player base, fix that shit or at least Band-Aid fix it and delete it for now. It's just like to me, it's like it's not that hard of a fix to make, and it would make the game a lot more fun. Because it's not like I don't like yes, I can make subjects and cheese it. But is that fun? No. Like it's not very interesting to do, but it's like, yes, I can make a subject and then curry favors, and then I can cancel that subject in, 20 or 30 years and double improve opinion and sure, I can circumvent the mechanic, but it's not fun. I wouldn't say they don't care, but I do think like Society of Pops is like right, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like, and you might be right, where it's like, I think I would rather have I hate to say it because I freaking the subject matter is kind of cringe, but it's like at least it was possible to clear your land. Now it's like get the Mandy to heaven, I guess, every game, so you can accept every culture. It's like probably the most ideal thing to do. That's what I do in any long game. But it doesn't feel good. It's just like okay, just like go and cheese the Mandate of heaven, and then like the problem is solved. You can blob as long as you play like Germany or Italy, I guess. Like, would you rather? That's a good question. Would you rather blob in the HRE where you get plus 200% antagonism, but you can accept the culture, or would you rather blob outside of it where you can't accept the culture and you know? Oh, I think so too. I think it'd be good for the health of the game if they just remove the half core for now, and then they can do their whole rework thing they want to do in 1.6 or whatever. Yeah, I'm just saying, like, wouldn't that be a good band-aid? Yeah, yeah. Sorry, I'm talking to people on YouTube too, but yeah, I'm talking about the whole like half core thing. I think like it's would be better for like the game if I have it saved as control too. Like I think the half core should just be removed for now because of the way it's just the way that it's kind of mechanically ugh, not ideal, I guess. Like look at this. Like what is this? Why the cards start with nothing integrated, bro? Oh my god, I didn't realize that. They should start with literally 0 cores. That's hilarious. They literally start with all of their land not not cored. Wow. Because it's the wrong culture. They're Turkish and it's majority Greek. Yeah. I mean, I agree too, like, if they took away the control like, you remember how they added that patch? I know, man, I know. That's why I wanna add him and then, get kicked from the Discord because he's mad. No, I don't think I doubt I would get kicked, but I just wanna be like, "Hey," like, I don't know, I would love to just, like, say, like, "Hey, man, you can make the game" like, if you could fix the coring problem sooner, like, I think that would be a lot you make a lot of people happy. Like, it's like, if you wanna if you want an easy fix that will make the community happy, there it is. Or just make it, like, easier. It's just like I do think this one mechanic would make the game way fun or way more fun. I should say that. I should add him and be like, "Hey, can we look at coring?" And also, I love the achievement change. It's great work on that one. But no, I'm just like, tell me, honestly, with this one change, I'd even be okay. Like, okay, I'd be okay if they wanted to make coring take longer, but there's no half core. I know what you're saying on Twitch. Yeah, it's like why don't they just do what they did in EU4 and put like a tax malice on it? Like or it's like you can still have it be a problem, but you don't need to. But like tying it to control is like not reasonable. Like I think it's fine if you have a negative malice of some sort, but I mean, yeah, more or less. Coring that wasn't like that long, but yeah, but like what someone's saying is like if you're playing EU4, there is a malice for not having it as your accepted culture, right? But it hurts you in like I think it's like I can't remember something like your tax and manpower would go down in the location, which is like reasonable. Yeah, that's what I think it was. Less tax and manpower, which is like yeah, I think that's reasonable. You like the new coring system, man. You are talking from the minority. So like if you were the car Sid, you think that's fine? You think that's okay? Like you're playing the car Sid, and like y- yeah, that's fine. Yeah, I don't see a problem. You can't accept them. That'd be over your culture capacity. Later? Like when's later? Like 100, 200 years? Except it's not okay, let's have a conversation. I want to speak to the people that like it. Cause you're definitely in the minority, at least in my community. Which I'm not saying is bad. More so just like it's interesting to have a conversation with people that like the system. But okay, so let me ask you this. I can show you an example, but of my other statement, I won't bother. Like, let's say I'm playing Hungary. Okay, is the idea that you're never going to get value in some locations? Like, I guess we'll pull up the save that where I was giving the example of because I'm curious to know like what your thoughts are. And I thought about asking the devs like what's their thoughts on this too or whatever, right? But I guess the example would be for example, if I'm playing Italy, I can I can accept everyone for free always, right? So I'm very railroaded into the idea of doing that. And is that healthy for the game? I don't know. You tell me. It's right, but so that'd be like my first argument, right? Like if you can just conquer like if I'm Austria, I can conquer all of Germany and it's fine. I'll be able to full core everything, right? But if I wanted to go and take like us, anything else, it's an issue. But for like a region like here, you're screwed, right? Because this isn't it's just different culture groups right here. Like for Italy or Germany or Iberia or like France or something to some extent, or even East Slavic or whatever the case may be, right? It's not bad. It's not really an issue, or even like something like Iranian, right? Like I'm more than happy to just like, yeah, I can conquer with my culture group and it feels good, right? But does it feel bad that you're basically demotivated to ever attack outside your culture group? Why do you not think it's an issue with how cores work? Because cores are fundamentally tied to culture, right? It's not really free. Like that's just like not true. It's really not that easy to culture convert. Even with Max Humanist and like you just can't do it very fast. For one, it's a cavid action, right? And then for two, you probably have to increase control on top of that because like it's just not reasonable. No, I'm just curious to hear the people that say it's okay. Like, I'm not trying to like out you guys. Just like, what do you think is like reasonable? No, you don't need plus 50% religion. I think that's an issue that I brought up in early access, and then Johan switched it, and it was like everyone hated it. I didn't actually hate it that much, but I get why people would hate it. Like in early access, like I did ask that question because I do think it's kind of unreasonable that like culture is so much more important than religion, right? And that's like just how the game is. Because like why does it make sense that you get a full core for why does religion not matter but culture does? Is kind of the argument I made, right? Like especially when it comes down to values, like when you look at something like spiritualist versus humanist. Except you can't really core a whole place in 30 years because you don't have the control. Will I play MP game? I mean, maybe it's just like, dude, it's so painfully slow to play multiplayer that I don't like. I'm not a very patient guy. Sure, you're saying that the system for culture should be different. Well, the issue I have with the system is that like, what do you do? And it's just like there's certain cases where you can't do anything. Like, sure, you could argue that like And you know, like you could argue that like, okay, if you're playing in Germany, for example, right? Like if I'm playing Austria, it's like if I have all of Austria cord, or sorry, all of Germany cord, right? Like all of those, I should do the right map mode. Sorry, I continue to fail. Why am I like this? It's culture groups, isn't it? Yeah. Okay. Okay. Sorry about that. But it's like, okay, if I have all of Germany, and I think to some extent, like you can probably accept these two because they're partially German, right? Or let's just say you can't, I guess, for the sake of the argument. The point being is that you could, if you control all of Germany, you probably have an economy that you don't even care about full coring stuff anymore. Period. Right? Like like at that point, I guess like yeah, who cares, right? Like your economy with just Germany could support the whole world being owned if you wanted it to, right? Like easily. Same with Italy, right? Like you could have Italy and like you don't even care if it's full chord. But the problem is that's not the case everywhere. Like Iberia, same thing, right? You could support like the world, like you could take as much land as you want and support it with that economy. Sure, right? But I think there's regions again like the Ottomans where that isn't the case, where it feels really bad. Or maybe I think like Poland would be another example where this feels really bad. Where it's like you're fighting against the grain so much. No, you can play wide. You just have to stick within your culture group. But that's another thing. Like I think you like you're unethical if you use naval governors because the AI can't. Thoughts? You're unethical if you use naval governors because the AI can't. I mean, like, I'm just saying, if you use a naval governor, you are using something that the AI has no access to. You are basically cheating. Yes, having a higher base assimilation rate would be better. Yeah, but like, um, okay. But here's my issue with the people that think like culture isn't a thing, right? It's like, okay, you guys realize that there's ways that you can just get full cores everywhere, right? Like if you want to like make subjects and curry favors with them, you can like get them to increase culture opinion, or you could become the mandate of heaven, and you could bypass the mechanic entirely. Like, so the question would be like, if you were to, or I guess in your vision of the game, would you just eliminate all that cheese? I'm not talking about enforcing culture. I'm talking about no, you clearly don't know the cheese. So how should you? Okay, I'll just load the game because like we'll just talk about it. Like, and this is like a let's load up our Inca game so we can bitch about Inca and the Andes. But my point would be like, what are you supposed to do if you're in the freaking Andes? Yeah, the vassal release favor cheese. You don't know what I mean? You clearly know the cheese. So what you do is you You release a subject, and you want to make that subject like. I guess I could just show you basically how it works. So basically, it's like okay. Well, first we'll discuss this issue. Like, so here's my run of Inca, right? And all of this stuff is like, how do I ever even? I have zero control here. How in the world am I ever supposed to? Like, let's just say I wanted to assimilate this region, right? Well, I clearly can't even do it with this at all, right? Like, I can't. There's zero control there for one, right? Like, there's nothing I can do. And you know what's funny is that I can't even culture convert either because they're all tribesmen, right? So it's like not even possible. So like, what am I supposed to do? Like, spend thousands of years of like trying to get the tribesmen to settle first, and then you know what I mean? Like, but even if I wanted to do both of these things, right? Like, what's the best I'm going to do? 11 control, and then if I have that 11 control, what is that? Like, that's the problem is too is like this is one area at a time. That's 2 cabinet actions to do one thing. I just don't see this as a core issue, but how is it not a core issue? Because cores are tied to culture. So why wouldn't it be that? You know what I mean? Do you really need the control though? Well, I do if I want the land to have any value. Yeah. Like no, like in this region, like for example, like it would be impossible. This will never ever work because the tribesmen don't culture convert. So you'd have to spend like effectively 3 cabinet actions on one region, right? Like it would take 3 cabinet actions and years of doing so to be able to actually get this to be full core. You'd have to do this. You'd have to assimilate, settle tribesmen, and increase control. I meant to. I obviously screwed that up, but it'd be like something like this. I grabbed the wrong one again. I'm boosted. There we go, like this. Okay, but then yeah. So the issue is that this this right here pulls down my. It like hurts me in a lot of ways, right? Like this is like negative value for me. This land. So I have like it just hurts my crown power, right? Which is like whatever, I guess. Sure, like it's not a big deal, but I'm arguing with someone I'm arguing with a few people on YouTube that think that they like the coring system. Make it a subject? What if I don't like subjects? I like painting the map. And what would making a subject do? Yeah, like someone on Twitch is saying low control because wrong culture and wrong culture equals low control. Yeah. Okay, but like okay. Sure. I could agree with that statement. So you're saying not engaging in elements of the game doesn't mean it should be changed. But you can't even if I made a subject, I could never get that's like it doesn't change the fact that I couldn't ever integrate that land and have it be full chord. But yeah, it's like sure. Yeah, you could do it, but it like the point being is like if you're a blobber, your cabinet is always busy on integrating forever. So you don't have the ability to do this. That's a real blobber thing, you know? Like, sorry, but you're gonna be integrating forever, for all time. That's all your cabinet does. But yeah, I would argue that, like, maybe I should make a better argument here. Let me read your comment here. I think culture should have events to decrease culture costs or increase acceptance. I do agree with you that there could be more interesting stuff. Like, I do agree that there should be wouldn't it like, I don't know how you would balance it, but it would be cool. But what you're saying I think is wrong because culture, the most important thing about culture is the way that it affects coring. That's what culture does. That's why you care about culture because it is a core issue. Culture equals core, right? Like to me, it's like the same. It's like this is why it's a coring issue because it's one to one tied to this mechanic, right? Like if you want cores, you need to figure out the culture. I can't get behind your logic there. I think it is the fundamental thing that of why you care about culture. But again, my argument is that you can blob with Germany or Italy, but you get screwed over with when you play the Ottomans or the Inca, I guess. How is that reasonable? Like to me, it seems like listen, I love playing Germany, and I'll play it 9 times out of 10 or Italy, right? Like most of my campaigns are probably going to be in these regions for these reasons, right? And it's not an issue if I play in these regions. Sure. Is it though? Like, is it that far from my capital? My capital's like here, and there's land right there. It's not integrated, so it's like no, not necessarily. Like these are pretty close to my capital, but but like okay, yeah, right, right. I'm just saying like truly, if you just played in Europe, I don't even think you care about like integration's not bad in Europe for the most part. Would you agree with that statement? But besides the Ottomans and Byzantium, I guess they could be an outlier. But Byzantium's also like insane because they have 92 cabinet actions, right? So like I don't know if you count Byzantium either. And the Ottomans are insane for integration too. So like honestly, both those nations are kind of like I guess it's annoying, but it's really not that annoying, you know? It's almost like in Europe it's fine, but everywhere else it sucks. I totally agree with what you're saying, like on that. I think that would be amazing. And I think that would make sense too, right? I even thought like what if you could like, put a cabinet action to increase cultural opinion of that one nation? Like, your cabinet is like assigned to like seek better relations with this culture group or something like that. Would be like more reasonable to me. And then your culture opinion would go up over time and it wouldn't be tied to your control or something like that, right? I think the biggest issue is that it generally takes 2 cabinet actions and then you're limited by the amount you can do it. Like for example, it's like if I'm playing over here, again, it's like Inca, right? I cannot culture convert more than one place at once. It is not possible, which I have an issue with. Like for here, right? I have to have the increased control cabinet action to actually get any like for it to be possible to culture convert, which I think is an issue. So it's not possible for me to even if I had 92 cabinet actions, I could not effectively culture convert more than one province at a time. It wouldn't matter how, you know what I mean? Yeah, I can get what you're saying. Yeah, like the culture system is like yeah, yes. Yes, I think it's just a different way of saying it. But yeah, the culture system, like culture opinion is a problem. But and then like you okay, like and do you guys think it's a reasonable simulation to like okay, let's say I'm playing like France, like I send Castile favors for 100 years and all of a sudden I could take his land and it would be easy. Like that's not reasonable, is it? That's like silly, right? Like if you're playing Bohemia, like is the play just to send gifts to everybody at once? Do you know what I mean? Like probably, right? Like I should just start the game and send like gifts to like Hungary, Poland, and Austria for like the first 50 years of the game. So that when I conquer them, I can just accept them for free. Like that's stupid too, right? What are your thoughts on that? I think what they yeah, they should I agree that they should remove full cores being tied to culture. Right. No, I think that's like and they have that 50-year cooldown of like, in increased cultural opinion, which I think is like you know what I would be okay. You know what's funny is like in early access, this used to be a 10-year cooldown. Funny enough. I was like, that's kind of actually more reasonable for me. It's like I would have been I thought that was like not a bad thing. Like early on in the beta, like this was, like not public beta, just content creators, like that it was just a 10-year cooldown to like ask your subjects to increase opinion. And I'm like, that felt a lot better. Cause then like, in 20 years you can, like naturally you do it for like 20 years and then you can accept the culture. Yes, he's the one who got it nerfed. He wrote about it and got it nerfed. No, there's a 50-year cooldown. I'm talking about the ability to ask your subject to improve cultural opinion. I know they do. Absolutely they do. Absolutely. Like I know that he, like he got I mean, he has a lot more opportunities than I do to influence the game. Let's just say. I mean, I don't have any issues with lemon cake. I don't really have any issues with generalists too. We just want different things. Oh yeah, I mean, I always thought that was the best idea. I mean, my solution is always like I think integration and culture conversion should be passive and not something that you can do with a cabinet action. Like it should just take like I'd even be okay if it took like 100 years. I don't care. Just don't make they'll still make me use my cabinet action on it. Like, no, I don't really want it to take 100 years, but like I think I'd rather it took 100 years than the current system we have. They want you to be slower. I mean, I think the issue is like they have this vision of the game to be slower. It's just like there's not enough to do in the slow version of the game, right? I mean, it happens literally like I think it happens so slowly, passively though that it's like inexistent, like integration. Yeah, the problem with the game being slow is that it's just not. Unfortunately, it's like I have played a little bit of Vicky 3, and the building is more fun in Vicky 3 because of the way that it works. I mean, it's just like you're like, it's a building game, and the building is better in the game, I think. But it's like it's not going to be as fun as that. Like it's just like yeah, like I do think the building is fun. Because I'll tell you a story. My Google Fiber is not working, so they come over today, and they spend 6 hours working on it and trying to put a new line. Like I live in an apartment, but they try to fish a new line to like I don't know, to the box outside, right, for 6 hours. And when they get it there, it doesn't work. And so they're like, how about we just put a line from your balcony for now? And yeah, that's what they did. So I can't close my balcony door. And they put a line from they like just it's just like a line that hangs off my balcony. I'm like, this is so scuffed. And the crazy part is that they don't even tell me anything about what they're gonna do next. They don't like tell me that they're gonna fix it tomorrow. They're just like, that's the temporary solution. I'm like, are you coming back tomorrow? And the guy's like, oh, I don't know what they're gonna do. I'm like, okay, whatever, whatever. As long as my landlord doesn't care, there's a freaking line hanging out of my apartment, like on the third. I live on the third story. As long as it doesn't mind, there's just a wire coming down out to my balcony. I guess whatever. But I mean, it's just funny. So yeah, I think that's the issue though. So let me make a better argument for you. Like people that are here that like the system. I want you to answer this. Do you think that the game would be doing better if they removed half cores? I'm not talking about if you like it. I'm talking about do you think it would attract more of an audience? Would making this change be good for the player count of the game? And I would argue yes. Whether or not you like it is subjective on whatever, right? Like your personal opinion. But like, do I think? And here's my opinion in general. Like, um, this is Europa Universalis. We like blobbing. We like conquest. We like war. They haven't really done that. My point being is that they chose to use the franchise name Europa Universalis, but then they have so the player base of EU4 is their target audience, or at least partially. I would say a majority of their audience. Like if I'm making a sequel as a developer, I imagine that I'm trying to attract the audience of my prior title as one of my main target audiences, right? So, in my opinion, they would be doing a lot better if they made the game in a way that targets that audience, i.e., making integration these like more simple or easy, and making war better. That is kind of my point of the situation. I understand that people are gonna not like it. Sure, sure, but I'm not when I say we, I'm not really talking about my community in particular, I'm talking about, like, us EU4 players, but yes, there is also variety when it comes to EU4 players, but I'm more talking about a, like it's not like I can tell you what the majority of EU4 players think. I can only tell you based on, like, what people, people that will, like, it's like I'm gonna be biased based on people because the people that like my content are the voices that I'm hearing, if that makes sense, right? So for sure, it's gonna be hard to give you, like, unbiased opinion because my opinion is gonna be it's almost like a confirmation opinion, if that makes any sense. Like, yes, I think a lot of people are gonna agree with my takes because they are people that follow me or like my content, and maybe I relate to those people more. So I can see that argument being fair too. But you don't think it matters to the player, but, like, okay, but is the average player frustrated by the coring mechanic? Okay, that makes a good point too. I do think you could say blobbing was the most relevant playstyle for EU4. And I don't think that's just me saying that. I think, like, what again, I don't have any, like, facts to back this up, but would you guys say in general, and I'm hoping that I get a response from, like, Aglo, because it sounds like you're kind of from a different community, or do you have a different opinion? I don't know if you played EU4 or not, but would you say that a majority of players were blobbers or more than above average, like, percentage-wise, of the EU4 community was blobbers? Yeah, that's kind of that's what I'm saying, like, on Twitch, yeah, what you're saying. For sure. You don't think so you don't think that pushing the game in a given direction would help the game? Like, I guess my take would be like, sure, yes, and there's a lot of there's people like, yeah, sure. Trade to me is actually one of the worst mechanics in the game, but that's not why we're talking about, right? I think trade is actually a lot worse for me because it's something that, like, I think that it's just like I don't even interact with it at all. It's just something that happens and, like, I don't interact with it at all as the player. Like, I think you don't even need to hit automate anymore. It just does it for you now, right? 4 is more of like a mini game. 5 is like a simulation. If you're asking what the difference is. Yeah, it's like if you want my average experience with trade is like you don't interact with it at all. That's not unreasonable to say. I'll tell you this, Sebastian, is that as someone who has played the game a lot, could not figure out how to do that. I have no idea how you could play around trade. And if I can't figure it out, How is the average player going to? I like literally I can't figure that out. Like it's not from a lack of trying. Yeah. But I get that point though, and it's a good point. Like it sounds like Iglo or I don't know, you say your name. It's not really relevant, but you said you come from like you didn't like EU4 because it was like kind of arcadey, right? So like kind of what I'm understanding. And you're like more drawn to EU5 because it's more of like a simulation. It's more realistic. Let's say. Let's use that word. Less like arcadey and more a bit more like realistic in some sort of way. So my question would be, do you think and like take yourself out of the equation. If you're a developer, how do you want to make your next game? To me, it's like I feel like you should appeal to the audience that is already there. That is your number one like target. You're like, okay, we're using the Europa franchise, and so doesn't it make sense to try to attract that player base as your number one priority? Otherwise, why would you use the name Europa Universalis? You're saying missions completely relevant nations and hard gated, which countries could be played. I agree. I agree you can't make the same thing over and over again. But I will say that I do think that a lot of your EU4 players, well, for what someone says on Twitch, probably feel alienated, which is weird, right? Like it's like they didn't go after they didn't really appeal to the like if you're using Europa Universalis as your name of your game, I feel like you want to appeal to the players that are still playing your game. I'm not saying they should one-to-one copy everything and whatever the case may be, right? I'm just saying like here's the question. Or I don't know if it's the question, but like for one, just the idea of using the franchise is probably like if you wanted to make the game the way it is, it's almost like it's not I don't know if it's best to use the title, but maybe they needed to. But I guess my point being of like if you have this arcade versus simulation player base in EU4 or EU5, right? I think that's like kind of like apparent. Like you have the player that wants to blob, and then you have the player that wants more of a simulation. What do you do in that case? Do you make I feel like right now they're just trying to make they're just more so making everyone unhappy. They're like making the both sides a bit unhappy, right? Like they're not leaning into either side. They're like kind of like half and half. Okay, well let's talk about blobbing then. If your player base likes blobbing and you keep alienating that player base, making blobbing harder and harder, is that good? Like I think it can be okay. I don't know if I'm not saying it's inherently bad. It's more of a question. Like and it's not again, I don't really want this to be a discussion about like what I think about or what you think, more so like what would make sense for the devs to be the most successful. Like just from their perspective of like if I want to attract the biggest audience possible, what should I be doing? Where should my priorities lie? Right. Sure, it's not harder, but part of that issue is, like, combat is a lot more fun in EU4. That's probably the biggest thing for me. Like, it's just I guess in simple terms, like, combat is a lot more fun, and I like, the majority of like, this I will say this patch has been a lot better for me personally. I've had a lot more fun this patch because of the way they've changed military, but prior to this patch, it's been not very fun at all. But yeah, that's also a good point. Like, India is all Indian, so you can probably accept it all, right? But I'm saying prior to this patch, like, the combat has sucked. Prior to 1.3, combat has been, like, not fun at all, and that's, I think, a really bad thing for the EU4 community in general, right? Like, I think EU4 players I okay, I will speak for one EU4 player that is me. I value combat as one of the is probably the most important thing in the game for what's fun. Like, to me, that is where they drop the ball the biggest, the hardest, is combat. Like, I think if combat is fun, you attract a massive amount of the EU4 player base. And that's it. That's like, you know, from technology, you get it from government reforms. You also get it for being like, isn't it funny how overpowered Byzantium is? Just like on the topic, like, isn't it kind of funny? What do you guys feel about that? Like, what do you guys feel about how overpowered Byzantium is? Like, do you think it's like a good thing, a bad thing, a neutral? Like, what do you guys like land on that? I don't disagree. We love DLC because you know what really if you want to talk about blobbing, like, here you go, Byzantium, right? But is it good for the game? Like, is it like did you don't have the DLC? It's just like Byzantium's like the strongest nation in the game. And I think it's like kind of bad. The CB makes them feel like I would say the CB makes them feel way better than playing an average nation because you essentially can take way more land than you ever could otherwise, right? Like as Byzantium, right? And you have like the insane amount of look at this, like 15 cabinet actions, like that's incredible. That's just incredible. I don't think that any I think this is a fair statement to say. Byzantium has the most cabinet actions of any nation possible, and it's not even close. I think I can make that statement. Like the net, like they have so many goddamn cabinet actions. It's really broke. Like the way that the bureaucracies work is like you don't interact with them until you have money, and then it's pretty freaking good. Like this one gives you like you get two local governors from this. It's wild, right? They added new ones too, right? I mean, why do you think? the Biz DLC, I asked this before, but like, why did the Biz DLC not do as well as people anticipated, or maybe as well as Paradox anticipated? What was it? Just like bugs, or was it like? I think for me, it's probably lack of content. Like, I would have liked there to be like Serbia content or like Bulgaria content as well, or like in general like Anatolia content. You think it was just too buggy? Korea probably, yeah. Oh, but you were asking about the bureaucracy thing. So you get a bunch of bureaucracies, and they do different things. Generally, it's like if you pay for them, then you avoid the thing in red. I don't know why I'm not paying max here. I didn't even realize that I was right. But it's like if you don't pay for them, then you take some sort of penalty. You always get the middle thing, and then it's like if you pay for it, you get the good thing, or if you don't pay for it, you get this thing instead. That's fair. The game wasn't in a good state when the DLC released. That's fair. I do think that's fair to say. Yeah, I think that's not a bad argument. Like the game's not in a good state, and we're releasing DLC. I think that the DLC is like reasonably priced at $10, though. Like, sure. Oh, but the bureaucracies that are really OP, I think, are well, this one's insane. Extra cabinet seat and then 2 governors. But that's because we're over 100% entrenchment. So the more that you get, like, the more like over time, these things get more and more like numbers, I guess. But like, look at this. That's 2 things that give a cabinet seat. That's like that's insanity. Why, that's kind of that's out. That's huh. And they give them this like insane I think this is good too. Like I guess that doesn't matter. I think I just never got rid of this one. But annexation speed's like, like sure it's good. But I guess I'll just remove it to show you guys the other ones. It's like so you have like all these choices, right? They added new ones, I think. Like I don't know what would even be like. I mean that seems interesting. Artillery bonus versus fort. So if you had that, like, you always get +1 versus fort like permanently, which is like, oh, that's kind of good. I mean, what else though? Military tactics is interesting. I feel like it's a really honestly, I think bureaucracies is like not a good mechanic. What do you guys think of that take? I don't think any other. I think Egypt can get one, if I remember right. Like it's like very very rare, but like there's like one. Okay, they can't. I lied. I think basically nobody gets them. Not in the way that Byzantium does, though. Oh, Megalopolis gives you one. Okay, that's what it is. I took it from them. But can like if you have Megalopolis, does that mean that? I mean, who has a Megalopolis, for an example? Like here. I don't. So you think Great Wu would have one? I'm not seeing it there. Is it every nation can get 1 and 1.3? Okay. I don't. So, but why don't I have one here? Is it just because like maybe the month tick? Because I have this as like an old save. I mean, I think that could be reasonable to guess. Or, no, I don't know. I guess it doesn't really matter. Oh, my mouse died. Hold on, guys. No, not the mouse. It's there. Uh, Sure, sure. Well, the thing is, when I played this nation, the sliders work like this: you don't pay for them until you're rich, and then you pay for them. Like it's kind of cut and dry like that. It's like I just that you never pay for them and until your economy is good, and then you pay for them all when you're like it's just like kind of not like it's not like an early game mechanic at all for me. Is world conquest possible without the Timurids? I do think it is now with any nation because of how OP imperialism is now. Imperialism is like way better than it used to be because it used to be a 50% CB, but now it is a 75% CB. So I think that with imperialism, world conquest wouldn't be that hard. But it's not like I've done it to this, you know. I'm just like in theory, world conquest is easy because of imperialism being so much stronger than it used to be. I think one of the best nations of world conquest would be Spain because they like in my Spain run, I was able to block off the entirety of the New World as Spain. So I think Spain would be a pretty good like candidate for world conquest because like being able to avoid the entirety of North and South America, like from playing Castile, I think that's just like so much time saved. You know, like in that run where I blocked it all off. Like yeah, I think world conquest would be like pretty. That'd be like a pretty good boost. But yes. But no, like I think it's kind of ridiculous though the amount of like cabinet seats. I think I have 14 now or like 14 to 15. And obviously the control is like, good. But even with these guys, it was like, yeah, I took the mandate of heaven because how else am I going to accept all the cultures, right? For sure, that's what I did. I'm just saying, like, yeah, in the current system, it's like, yeah, taking the mandate of heaven is just always the way. But again, yeah, we I got off on a tangent, and now we're not going to play tonight. But like, yeah, this button's OP. Agree or disagree? I can't even bribe them once for 1,000,000 ducats. That's crazy. Wow. No, I can't. Oh, it's just you can't right click it anymore. That's right. They changed that. I'm used to being able to right click them, and then it would like, I'm like, I really can't bribe them for 1,000,000 ducats. No, I can't. I could indeed bribe them for 1,000,000 ducats. I think this save. I just wanted the sounds to be crazy. That's all this save is used for, to meme on the game. I don't see why people wouldn't like that. It's totally reasonable. You guys like that, right? I'm playing on the 7800X 3D with the 4080 Super. Wait, is it called Super? I think that's the word. I don't remember. I think so. Yeah, that's what it's called. Yeah, performance is tough into the late game, but yeah. But yeah, no, the CB is if you guys have played this nation, I'm sorry, what WT, what do you think? Is that what that means? Sorry, I'm bad with terminology. What what is that what yeah, what do you think? Um, well, I think it would be I mean, with the max control everywhere, you could probably just have everything culture converted, but that's I see what you're saying, like, um, what do I think would be reasonable, right? The issue I have with culture conversion is that idea is that it's something that is like you get better at culture conversion as the game goes on, but that's just because you get better control. And I don't know if like my I guess one of my bigger issues is that culture conversion is tied to control. So it feels like you can't do it in the early game. But then when you have better roads, it feels like it's possible. Are you sure? I feel like that's not true. Oh, wait. That's why that's happening. That's why that's happening. You're right. Because you know what happened? Why when I got maps? I think it's because I annexed one of the colonial nations. That makes sense. Interesting. That's what happened. Because it was really weird. But that's that okay. Interesting. Good to know. Can you you can't like make a subject though. Like no, that wouldn't work. Interesting to know. Talking about annexing a nation, giving you maps. I think that must have been what happened though, is because I annexed the colony. Right. Yeah, no, that's what I agree. So anyways, but what I was saying is I think that if they let you culture convert, if they took away the control being tied to your ability to culture convert, I think that it would be a lot better. And they would and that it would be like a good enough like to me if they used to be that way too, right? I feel like if they reverted that change, I'm much happier with the situation. The fact that I can't really culture convert or effectively if I have low control in an area would be like to me is like one of the crux of the issue because like later on in the game, like yeah, you're not gonna have as big of an issue because your roads are much better, and as a result of your roads being better, you can now get some control in those areas and actually do something. But yeah, I think it's the early game that really is the frustrating part. Now, do I think that um because yeah, I think there's there is a reasonable level. Like I can see what you're saying of like, if it would be reasonable, let's say that I just had like this as a full course. Like is that what you're kind of imagining? Like something like this would be full course and the rest wouldn't? Because like, sure, that would, like I would still be pretty powerful at any rate because I have so much control. But yeah, I could see that being reasonable. But I think it's like, how would you make that happen in like an organic way? Right, rural versus urbanization is really weird. In this campaign, I made like everything a city because I mean back then that was kind of the meta. I don't know if it's like really that good anymore with the changes, but that was also a thing that was like somewhat silly. I can never get enough people to like. It's so hard to actually make. Have you guys tried to make something into a megalopolis? I'm like, it's so hard to get 400,000 people. I feel like I think I tried it in the campaign to get like London to be that, and it was like so hard because then you have like some horrible small talks or something, and it's like such a setback. Oh, you're saying it's better? You get more pop growth with cities? Interesting. Plus 14%. This used to be that's actually sad. I will always be sad looking at this. This used to be 1% pop growth, not point 0.1. was so freaking good. Oh, really? 1.2 million. That's interesting. But yeah, I have another issue here. I don't think the simulate area should be so bad to the extent that you're getting half the value for using the counter action. I don't really think that's necessary. Like it's like, okay, you're getting a bigger area, sure, but then you're nerfed by making it twice as slow. And only one nation can do it. And you have to be the hegemon. It's like, yeah, I've left feedback multiple times that it should be something that unlocks in the age of absolutism. Like alongside integrate area. It should I like that I've said that though for a while. Like integrate area, and there should be like a simulate area. It's not like worse than the original one. Yeah, that's always been my feedback. Is like I'm like it should just be a tech that you pick up in the age of absolutism. Totally agree with that too. It's very weird because like, and that's like part of the issue too. Is like, have you guys played in India? I don't know if you guys have, but like when you're integrating, it's like, dude, it's so ridiculously better sometimes because of how big the provinces are. Like, it's insane. Like when you're integrating this, like dude, you could use one cabinet action to integrate this entire thing. It's crazy. It's like 13. Is there 13 provinces here or something? I think that's crazy, right? Like it's like it's the norm here, though. It's like not just the. It's not like a outlier. It's like, dude, everything. Like, why did they make it like this? I guess this one's rather small, but it's like there's so many of them that feel like they're just massive. Like, were they just lazy? Like, I had to be like, that's what happened. But like, why is there so many massive provinces? Yeah, they have insane pop too. You think it's just because the devs care more about Europe? But it like weirdly hurts that. Like, it makes them feel so much better, I feel like, in some ways. Because then because your cabinet actions now go twice as far. Like, like that's a weird thing about integration if you think about it. It's like your cabinet actions, can like would go so much further if the provinces were bigger. Right. I know it's just like in India, it's like I know there's like a lot of examples, but I don't feel like it's like that in Europe hardly at all. Am I wrong? I could be wrong, like genuinely. I just feel like whenever I play like in Europe, it feels like there's not that many massive provinces. But just because I feel that way doesn't mean it's true. It's like looking around. I think you can look at like province map mode, right? Like I don't know, they seem like relatively sized in Europe. Especially England. England's like tiny, tiny. I don't know. Oh, does it? Oh, okay. 6. Okay. Yeah. Like I wonder if you did a statistic of like the average province size if it's just significantly bigger in India. Or if I'm just looking at like outliers. Because there is some small ones like this. Is like that's still 7. Oh. 6, 9, 14. That's so crazy. 14, 12, 8, 15. There's a smaller one at 6. 18. Holy hell. I know India's cracked. You can't change my mind that India's insane. There's something going on with India, man. They have way bigger provinces than normal. At least in like this little region. Do you guys think there's a single? Do you think like in India in Europe? Do you think that there's one that comes close to this 18 count we saw? Do you think there's one that even comes like there? Is that the biggest province in the game? I wonder what is the biggest problems in the game if it's not that. What is the biggest problems in the game? I feel like it could be like, I hate to say it's devs being lazy because I don't know. Why would like, I guess, but I don't know. I'm not willing to quite say that, but possible. Let's just, like, visually look at, like, I know middle mark's, like, up there, but that's 8, that's, like, nothing. There's 120 in India. Do you guys feel like there's a single, like, 12 one in Europe? Yeah, that could be that too, is, like, different devs designing different regions with different, like, ideas in mind. Do you guys feel like there's a single one with, like, 12 in Europe, though? Like, I don't know that there is. There's no way to, like, filter that by, like, greater than 12, I don't think, but, um yeah, but it's just weird because, like, I feel like when you're playing down there in India, it feels so good to be able to, like, integrate, like it's like your cat actions are worth 2. Specifically when you're playing, like, Vijayanagar. Hey, there's a 18 or 16 one there. That's kinda good. Okay, that's pretty sizable. I mean, it's not Europe, but still. Oh, it's fake? Okay. The stats screen? I don't really know. There's, like I don't think you can, like, do that, can you? I don't know. I'm not sure if you can sort by number of provinces anywhere. I don't know. Exactly. No, that's what I think too. Because yeah, I think every province should be the same number of locations. Because it's just it's a weird thing. I just think that like, and again, this kind of like ties back into that culture thing though. It's like it's weird that you are like it feels like certain regions of the game feel better to play than others. Like again, my examples of Germany and Italy. Like Germany feels great, and so does Italy because you don't have to worry about culture. And that's probably where like and I feel like that's where most people probably play the game anyways, so maybe this issue isn't that big of a deal because people play in these regions a lot. Just happens to feel like a problem for me if I'm, like, playing as France and I invade Iberia, and it's like, yeah, that feels bad. Or I have France and I invade, like, Britain or something. Yeah, maybe China has big problems, yeah, for sure, that could be a thing. They don't look too big. I feel like India is just, like, built different, I don't I don't know. I feel like India is just the weird outlier. Because no, it doesn't seem like it. Also makes sense that invading different cultures should be difficult to integrate and control them. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know on that one. Like, would it be would that be the case that if you're Germany, that if you invaded Germany, it's like the people wouldn't care? I don't feel like that'd be the case, but I still feel like they would be mad. Like, but I don't know. I think it'd be cool. Like, honestly, I don't like the cabinet at all. I think the cabinet does like I think CK3 does a better job of what the cabinet is. And it's like a copy from CK3 in my opinion, right? And it's like they failed to copy the things that I liked about CK3 with the cabinet. Which I'm like oversimplifying when I say that, but could Germany have more locations than India? Yeah, I think it probably does, right? Where? Where has 18 locations in Europe? You hiding it from me. You don't want me to know. Where is that? Ah, Sweden's OP. I knew it. Those dirty Sweden devs making it 18 province place. I'm on to them. Of course, Sweden's rigged. I want to make my capital like right here, Sweden. It'd probably be freaking insane. Or right here. Right here, I'll make my capital like this location. And then I'll get like perfect proximity in these two rivers. Or just make like a governor, maybe not your capital though. Oh, it will be high pop once I get through with it, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. You said, sorry, historically, Europeans hated being conquered by other cultures, even if they were also European. Yeah. Like, and that's always a weird thing too. Like, why is, I guess I don't understand because I'm not European for one. But like, why is it that like Germany is all German, I guess, and that like Scotland is not British in the sense that like it's fine for you to like you can't really easily accept Scotland as England, but you can accept all of Germany as anyone in Germany for free. Why is it the case that like Ireland is so hard to accept as like I feel like England gets like the short end of the stick on that one if that like but like I don't know the I'm not again I'm not European, right? If that makes sense. It's like I don't speak from like a place of like understanding of why that would be different. Is it language? Like I is that the case? Irish would kill you for this. You want to know what's funny about that statement? Is that like my ancestors come from Ireland, okay? So they wouldn't kill me. Okay? They wouldn't. Yeah, but I mean, I guess my point in saying that is like, is it fair that Germany can just take all of Germany for free without having any culture issues? And that like England can't take all of England for free? They have to like suffer. You know what I mean? Okay, I could get that. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Northern. I think in the EU4 they separate northern and southern Germany too. That's probably like that would probably be more reasonable, wouldn't it? Actually, if they had like a northern Germany culture and a southern Germany culture, because I think that would be like sensible. That's like a little bit different. Because I think that's like maybe the way it would be. Like I don't know that like if I'm Austria and I conquer like Pomerania, if they're gonna feel good about it. I don't know. Yeah. Yeah, that's fair. But is that a good way to make a video game at the same time? I'm not telling you the answer to the question, by the way. I'm asking you. Like, is it a good idea for a video game to be like, you're rigged as Germany or Italy, right? You're like so. It just feels so good to play Italy and Germany in comparison to like any other region. I feel like because of the way that integration and coring works. Like you get to full core everything in Germany for free. That's all the money you'll ever need. You know, like it's never going to be an issue for you. You get to live in La La Land when you're in Germany. Does that make sense? I think that's like part of where the issue comes for me. Is it feels so good to play certain regions and then it feels bad to play others. Well, I feel like it's not harder to blob in EU5 until you start getting outside your culture group. But I would say like similarly, like it just feels really weird because I feel like it's like culture groups are so important in the game. Like you're playing Muscovy, it's like oh yeah, it feels good to conquer your own culture, and then it's like you can't like or like Scandinavian, I guess for example, right? Like that doesn't seem like it'd be bad at all. I haven't really played this region much, but I guess Scandinavia would be like not too bad, of a place to like like Iranian actually looks like really a really like pretty big group too. Is this actually Turkic or is that just like what happened in this game? Is that like actually like is that real? I'm sure playing over here would be like, there's certain regions that just seem like they would be great to play. Like, look at this. You're like, dude, yeah, that's freaking fantastic. You can take so much land here. Or even like this. Like, look at that. Like, I swear there's certain regions in the game that like, how do I explain what I'm saying is like, it's almost to the extent that the game is fun inside your culture group. But you shouldn't, but if you want to have fun, you should always stay within your culture group. Like if I was talking to a new player, I think I even did some of my before guides. Like if you're a new player, you should stay in your culture group. Am I wrong to say that? Like you'll have more fun if you just stay within your culture group. It will be less frustrating. And is that good? Is the other question. Like that, but like I think in general that's kind of true that like you'll have more success overall if you stay within one culture group. It doesn't matter where you play. I'm just like saying in general, right? Like because it's so much more value for you. You get so much more value out of taking your own culture group. You don't have to worry about your culture conversion, which is like an entire cabinet. Like that, it's like an insane amount of value. And do you really even need to go on beyond that? Like the only time that's like relevant is when you're playing the Ottomans, I guess. Like as far as like, what am I going to say? Mainstream nations that you play, if that's the word I can use. Like it's only a problem over here. Interesting. Right. I feel like France is in a bad spot too because France has like all of like France starts with the majority of its culture group already, like so it's like it feels bad to expand anywhere as France. It's same with like Great Britain to some extent, right? Like if you expand as Great Britain, it's like, oh, I have to culture convert everything. But if you're playing as like Germany, it's like, dude, this is awesome. So I don't know. It's a weird thing. It's kind of strange. Like, and what's the best solution to that? Like, I don't know. Like, I think Bohemia gets screwed over too. Isn't it horrible to try to like take land? Because if you share three groups like this, I don't think you get very much value, if I understand correctly. Like, it's not like if I wanted to accept like I don't know whatever culture in Germany, it's like you're screwed. You do not want to be Bohemia. It's like yeah, that's like not good, right? Because this is accepted for like one culture is point 0.7. That's like ouch. So I feel like Bohemia gets like the short end of the stick for sure because them being like I think you do not want to be a culture that is separated into three ever. Like you never want to be in a group that is multiple because you're going to fail at accepting all of them individually. You're bad at accepting. There's only one Bohemian religion thing, but it's like you're not going to be good enough to actually accept Slavic in a reasonable way or German, right? I think that's pretty fair to say. You get all three culture content though. I could see that being useful, but just in the sense of like being able to conquer and blob, it's like this is bad because now you're just mediocre at all three. It's the way that I see it, and you don't want to like that's interesting though. Yeah, but it's just an interesting conversation to have of like, do you think that the devs kind of like designed it like that? Dude, yeah, Bohemia is unlucky. Like Bohemia might start strong, but I kind of think that Austria is better in the long run. Because like if you're Austria, you're like similar, you're not as strong, but like you have the ability to expand so much better. I mean, unless you talking about changing culture as Bohemia. But I'm like if you wanted to like form Germany, I think Austria is better. What do you guys think? And why can someone is anyone from Germany here? I mean, it's probably not that time of the day that they're sleeping. Or is anyone knowledgeable about the culture of German? My question would be why is Bohemia have such a separate culture identity than Germany? And is that historical or is that like just a game mechanic? Why like are the people of Bohemia so much different? I guess what I'm saying is like what makes like those people like okay, but they are so but like they are like I don't understand that I guess because like okay, so you're telling me that like all of Germany is German, quote unquote, and they would get along. Like you're saying that all these people got along, relatively speaking, I guess. That's fair. And I guess I don't see. I guess that like what. So I have someone on Twitch saying Europe isn't as uniform or cultural as the U.S. is. The U.S. might just be a lot more like I'm from the United States, so maybe I'm just like of the mindset that like because I would say that the United States culture isn't drastically different from one state to the next, but maybe it is. I don't know. I haven't spent enough time like because I can visit other states, but like I haven't lived in another state for an extended period of time. So maybe they are a lot different. But I'm like America feels like generally similar. I'm trying to ask a Czech and a German if they're the same. Like I want to know what they feel is different. Because I'm just saying, like, in the context of like Bohemia's in the HRE, right? Bohemia's in the HRE. Alaska and New York would like to have a word. I mean, is Alaska a real place? There's like 3 people there. I'm sure it's not true. But like, it's Alaska, man. Like, why does the United States even own Alaska? It's so far. Like, dude, imagine their like, bro, their proximity is gonna be terrible. You know what I'm saying? Like, why do we have like Alaska? Like, why do we have Hawaii? Our proximity to Hawaii has got to be so bad. Do we even have a naval governor there? Like, what are we doing? Who's trolling? Like, there's no way we have any control over there. Like, why? Why do we even own it? Shouldn't we give it out to a subject or something? I don't know. I'm just saying. That was not Hawaii. Was it close? No, it was. It was Hawaii. It says Hawaii right there. Japan bombed the naval governor once. Yeah, why'd they do that? That's toxic. Speaking of okay, agree or disagree with this take? Since we're just kind of bullshitting tonight, guys. Sorry, we're in a bullshitting mood. So we're gonna talk about my opinions, and then they matter. We're gonna talk about my opinions and how they matter. Okay, agree or disagree? You should be allowed to have one governor in every region, and only one. But you should always be able to have at least one in every region. Disagree? Fair? Totally fair. What about okay? Okay, I like that. I like that. What someone said on Twitch. How about it's one, but then you get a tech like in the later game that makes it two? I wouldn't have an issue with that. So one per region, and then like let's say in the 4th age you get a second slot or something. I kind of think the government mechanic's kind of bad too, but like I get it. Like I liked the game in its original state where that's gonna be a controversial thing though for me to say that, but yeah. Like I liked the original control system where you like you just I don't know, it's like you couldn't just go everywhere you want and get free control. I think that I like the control system when it doesn't have governors more. And yes, I don't disagree with that. I think the temple change was not necessary, okay? What's Paradox's problem with temples? They don't like temples? They don't want people to build as many temples? What's going on, Paradox? Because I bet Paradox with that change decreased the amount of temples being built in their games by like, drastically. So they're temple haters confirmed. Just saying. Yes, I remember when Russia could have 100 control everywhere. It was based. But now you can only do it as these guys, you know? And now we're sad. Now you can only do it as Rome. True. How much do you think my standing armies have? I'm not even tagged to the right person. How much control do you think this provides for having 100,000 troops? Quite a bit, actually. 66%. Stack them all. We need everyone here. I want 290. I think I did do what I did stack everyone to one location one time. How much control can I manage if I stack 1,000,000 troops in a single location? How many mercs can I afford? What kind of merc stacks do we have in the late game? 64,000? That's not terrible. I can only build them in it's Africa, but yeah, whatever. Sorry for the noise, guys. I have to, you know. What do you do? How much control do we get? Okay, yeah, 445%. You know what? They should let you go over. They should let you go over 100%, guys. It ruins my immersion that you can't go above 100%. Yeah, they should work as a proximity source. Dude, I love that actually. They should. They should. Dude, delete governors and add that mechanic, and I'm in. I'm in. That would be amazing. Wouldn't that be kind of like realistic though? Like, tell me that a stack of 700,000 guys wouldn't get better proximity than a governor. Just saying, like, dude, you're gonna be on your best behavior if there's 700,000 troops on your border, right? Like, I'm just saying. I don't even if the leader is the general, I think you would still like I don't know, you would have pretty high control over that region. I know, I know. I just think that's actually a funny idea. Instead of governors, like that would be kind of cool though. I like that. I honestly like that idea in some sort of way. Like stationing. Let's say even you even like they don't even have to be in the map. Like you could station them in forts or something or something like that. Like you station your troops in a building. Or even like what if you had governors but you had to like station troops in them? Wouldn't that be weird? That would be weird, but like you had a governor and you'd station troops in the governors if you want them to function properly. Why did I build so many castles? I think that I just didn't delete them. I don't know. Is there a lot of forts? I did it for the memes. One or the other. Yeah, this is where I like actually cared. When I like cared, you can see I don't have many, but then when I started conquering land, I just didn't bother to delete them. Because I had so much money, who cares? Type of vibe. That's what happened in this campaign, I'm sure. Italian Wars proximity building? I didn't even know that existed. Did you guys know in early access? You probably didn't, but there's a building that's unique to Byzantium, and it used to give this thing used to give 20% proximity. So you could have every capital be 100% of a proximity source in like 2 weeks before release. I was like, that was pretty fun. The theme of headquarters would give you plus 20% proximity where you built it. Yeah, dude, Timur lives to like 90 something in most campaigns, I think now. Which I think if I played the Timurids, they would like the current Timurids must be so insane overpowered. Oh, I'm telling you, the early access was so fun. Like it was way more. It was way like they were way more broken in the early access. Dude, plus 10 max control from the religion was insane. That was so fun. Like the Zeus one used to give plus 10 max control. And I'm so sad they took it away. It was like really fun. And then this gave a plus 1% population growth. Like all of these were just massively insane. And they all got nerfed. Yeah, I think they could make the governor thing a lot better. But I like I think instead of governors, I would have liked to see like more levels of roads that like stretched out. Like, I think the bad thing with roads is that the gap between level 1 and 2 is too long. Because I think you don't get level 2 roads until the Age of Discovery, right? Like, so you start the game in 1337 and you're not getting the next roads until like 1550. Is that right? Or am I wrong? I could be wrong. No, I think that's right. So I think it would be like more reasonable if you like if there was like, I don't know, it feels like an odd gap, right? Like, where you have to go this massive amount of time before you get like an upgraded version of the road. And like you probably don't even get that road in like a normal campaign. Inca gets level 2 roads. What do you mean? I got them in my run. Well, I didn't, but I could have, okay. I haven't tried France in a while now. Interesting nation name. Hey, how's it going, Lord Lambert? I'm just yapping here about stuff to yap about. This is the old save. Yeah, like yeah, I'm just yapping about random stuff. Yeah, you think so? Too easy to beat France? Maybe. But I think that's hard because it's just never balanced, right? Like, I feel like, how do you get a world where you get an even distribution of England and France? Like, what should be the percentage that England wins? And how do they make that, like, happen? That seems really difficult, I think. Oh, I hate hourly ticks. I don't use hourly ticks, though, when I play, to be fair. So I guess it doesn't matter for me. Oops. I just have that, like, if you have that setting for increased tick speed on, I think that's what that does, is it just takes away the night and day thing or something. When active will also make speed 6 active speed 7. I'd never tried that mod, but I think maximize 6 speed does the same thing. I was just memeing and have you heard of like the RGO sound, man? Yeah, I play on 7 speed only, basically. Except for like, really difficult wars or something. But I've just been yapping about Byzantium and how they made them like uh maybe too overpowered. I feel like after you play Byzantium. Oh yeah, like yeah, this is my favorite thing to do in 1.3 though. Just the sound. Oh my. I've been ranting about cultures mainly, yeah. What's your opinion? I need the opinion of another content creator. I really don't like the culture system being tied to cores. Is what I've been yapping about mostly. And like how like it feels really good to play within culture groups. But when you go outside of your culture groups, you get punished. Like that's what I've been yapping about. Like if you're Germany, it feels great to just conquer Germany because you can accept all that culture like for free. No sound on YouTube. Oh, did I not have sound for that? Sorry, guys. I guess my sound got messed up. Sorry, I can go back and I know you guys want to hear what I was talking about. Hold on. There we go. You guys can hear it now, right? I hope you're happy. I hope you all are happy that I turned the sound on so you could hear. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying though, is like I really do feel like you feel disincentivized to expand outside of your culture group because it's such an uphill battle to like, assimilate and all that. It's like either you gotta like if you do it the right way. Like, I guess if you cheese, it's one thing, but like you're playing Italy, it's like, oh man, it feels like you never want to expand outside of it, which is like okay, I guess. I don't know. She's glad the sound wasn't working. Yeah, for real. But I'm like, does it seem like a good? Is it a good thing that you're so encouraged to not like the same thing with like it must be, I imagine, right? Like you probably are really you. It feels really good to probably play within your culture group. Like you play multiplayer, is that like the kind of the norm? Like I would almost imagine people just like play within their culture groups and fight each other. I guess I don't know. I know you play multiplayer. Don't lie to me. Like if you're Italy in multiplayer, are you expanding outside of Italy? I guess you could. I guess at some point maybe you would because you have nothing better to do. I don't know. Or are you just happy? Oh, you meant Muscovy, yeah. Yeah, I feel like you do that instead. Like, but it comes with the same like question as like, okay, you're playing Iberia? And when I say Iberia, I mean Spain. Sorry, you're you're playing Iberian. No, you're playing Spain. Does it feel good to ever conquer Morocco? I feel like it must feel like a miserable experience to do that because of it's like both not your culture and your religion. Which I'm not saying like there should be some sort of like it's not a bad simulation for it to be like kind of painful, but I feel like it's too painful. Yeah, I mean, I do imagine it's defender advantaged for sure. I was playing in Inca the other day. Yeah, yeah. I was playing Inca recently, and it's like, man, that's a rough place for one. For one, what a rough place to exist in the Andes. I lost my train of thought after that. I don't even know what I was going to say. I'm just like, I just got consumed in the mountains, and I was like, I don't even, I can't even remember what I was going to say. I just too much of misery. The freaking mountains. Oh my gosh. I really want to see what they do with the colonization system, so it's not this. This is like a sad thing to see. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like they're when I heard that they aren't going to touch culture or the coring system until like 1.5 or 1.6 in their feedback video, I kind of was a little bit sad. I kind of feel sad about that. I'm like, I really hope that they wouldn't do that. Or it's like I feel like that should be more of a priority, but that's biased. Right. Yeah, they do. They do. I feel like yeah, they do punish wide players because like yeah, like the more I think about it, it's like you really don't want to conquer outside your culture group, do you? And that's obviously awkward for like Byzantium at the start. Like I feel like Biz and the Ottomans are like they get most screwed over by this system. Our strongest players are Ottomans in France. Interesting. Do they not have any culture issues with doing that? Or did they just like cheese the system? Because there's lots of ways to cheese the culture system. Okay. What kind of rules do you play with on multiplayer? Like, do you like prevent people from doing certain cheese? Because I thought about doing multiplayer, but I'm like, yeah, it'd be a lot to do. Oh, okay. Cultural hegemon, that makes sense. Is combat good in multiplayer? I just feel like you would just die to food. Just death by starvation over and over forever. That seems reasonable. I think the food system right now is infuriating for a single player. I can't even imagine multiplayer because I imagine wars and multiplayer are like a lot bigger, and that the amount of starvation that goes on is probably it's probably criminal. How much people die from starvation? If I was to guess. Yeah, that's what I imagine would happen. So I mean, man, the food changes are rough. I'm kind of on the train of like we should come back to the food system after we've had more chances to work with it, and we should just like scrap it for now. Comment it out in the code, you know. But no, I know they won't do that. But a man can dream. I want them to just comment it out. Come back to it later. But I would say the same with like some things. No, yeah, no, Twitch did not flag that. Ooh, yeah. That's funny. Yeah. No, I imagine it would be like that. Right. True. Yeah. Yeah, yeah, I imagine. That's what I always get to when I ever have an opinion of like, you know, if I say like, oh, the culture system, you know, the integration system's bad, it's like, yeah, there's a lot of people that will like disagree with that, which is fine. It's just like interesting to see. Hey, thanks for the Prime sub. I appreciate you. I see you on YouTube. I appreciate you coming over and giving me the Twitch sub. Yeah, but do you think that's I saw that was happening, but do you think that's gonna like solve that? Do you think that's gonna like? That's cool though. Do you think that it's fun to micro that? Because I genuinely, I'm not trying to say like it isn't. But do you think it's like would be fun or reasonable to micro that? I haven't actually ever built one. I can't say I've ever built that or even know how to. Like a here? I have like literally I don't even know what this does. Oh, interesting. I'm like I'll have to learn to use these, I guess. Okay. Interesting. So I get so confused on how food works, honestly. Like, do you have a scenario where you're like on a location and you don't understand why you don't get food there? Because I feel like that's me every time. Like I'm like, dude, I own all the land. Why am I like I'll like be like attacking like a location here or something for some reason I don't have food and I'm like, why? I can't figure it out. It's like I don't understand. I'll like I'm not giving you this isn't an exact example of it, but it's just something like this will happen where it's like I don't understand why I don't have food to the location that I'm sieging. And I don't know how to figure out why. But that's I feel like it's especially a thing on the coast. Like you can never have if you don't have like naval superiority, you will never have food access on the coast for some reason. Even if you have like even if you own this land and you're trying to siege this and you don't have naval superiority, like you just starve or something. I don't know. It's distance from Prov capital. Interesting. I did not know that. That is interesting. So if you were like trying to invade here, it would be like worse to go this way. You're saying like it would be like if I like wanted to invade here, I should invade from this spot instead of like over here, where it's like further. Is that what the idea is? Have you ever tried to declare war on China before and seen how much people starve? Just like a random question for anyone here. Interesting. So how do you, is there a way to see your logistics distance? Or like, how would you know that? Like if I wanted to be like, if I wanted to siege X, like how would I know like, how far I could go? Is there like a map mode for it? For me, it's just like a matter of like, I kind of just accept that my people are going to starve to death. A lot of the times. I'm just like, well, that's just life. Sorry. Or like maybe trying to build a ton of supply things, but it changes based on your general? Really interesting. I did not know that either. Oh yeah, logistics distance. I'm trying to like look at these tooltips. It'll gather from. Oh, random rant. I think it makes no sense that your troops replenish when you have food access. Like I could be in the middle of nowhere and demand like you know, if I have food access from Lithuania, why can I replenish my guys to fight Russia? That makes zero sense, doesn't it? Like I don't have food access from here to here. I just have food access here. Right? Like it's like, how does that make any sense? Do you guys like what do you guys think of that mechanic? I'm like that makes no sense that my troops replenish in Lithuania because I demanded sovereignty or whatever the case may be. Violate sovereignty. Like I violate their I violate their military access and that somehow I can, you know. No, I'm just saying like Lithuania like he hates you. Negative 200 opinion. Like in this case, right? Yeah, I'm just saying like in this case like Lithuania hates me, but I could violate and replenish my troops there. Like how does that make sense? How do they like you know like there's no way, right? Like I'm fighting Russia and Lithuania is like, you know, Lithuania, let's say Lithuania hates you like he does in this case. I think everyone actually no, not everyone hates me. Yeah, okay, and well, wow, that's a nice opinion there, I guess. No, when I'm fighting like a lot of times when I'm fighting China, I'll like go down to like some nation down here to get food just so I can like fight China, and it seems like a weird thing that wouldn't make any sense. Just to be able to replenish your troops, like you know, it's like no, I should not be able to do that. I don't like I don't own anything on this side of the world. How are my troops getting here? Yeah, I don't know how I feel about that though. Like, do you think that if you like a here's a question. Do you think if you occupy a location, you should be able to replenish your troops there? Like if you have good food access, like let's say you take like a I don't know, something from Hungary in this case, and you have food access, shouldn't your troops be able to replenish there? Like I feel like that's like a more accurate simulation, right? Because you should be able to get reinforcements. Reinforcements are a thing that is real, right? Like that's just another thing to think about, but I'm like sure the reinforcements happened. Like you occupy, Hungary. Like you should be able to reinforce your guys to Hungary. You shouldn't have to walk home and then wait a month stick. Like it's weird. But it's just a weird. It's a weird system. I don't know that there's like a right answer. But anyways, enough yapping, guys. I've yapped as much as a man should yap for one night. So I will leave you. I hope you guys have a nice night. Thanks for tuning in. I hope you guys have a good night.